Oh, man, it's just such a great day. Oh, it is just an absolutely great day. Let me turn myself up in my own headphones. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Also, of course, happy Black History Month. It is February 8th, 2023. And First Touch is live. Dazzler Roll Dizzy Tbates here. And whoo, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good today. Oh, my goodness. Gentlemen, how we feeling? How y'all doing?
Only one with my hair uncovered. Baze, why you always? We trying to see the waves under there, bruh. Like you always guarding them. What's up, bruh?
Bro, I don't know what you want me to say, man. Listen, if you have waves, you gotta understand, man. You gotta keep these things wrapped up. Also, I need a fresh cut. It's a little, I'm.
Oh, okay.
I got a lot of hair on my head right now. I'm wolfing. And for those of y'all who actually do waves, there's probably not many of y'all in the chat. But for those of y'all who do have waves, it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. Next week, though, I will gladly have the do-rag off just for all and just for other people in chat so y'all can see the hair. I will do that for everybody.
That's great. That's great. Well, I think you look fine, Bates.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. We're all trying to deflect because his team can't perform. And then Damar for the longest before the show even went live, Dazarin was saying, actually, he sounded pretty depressed, but apparently he was just trying to get himself ready for the show now, he clearly has sold out to a team that he wasn't a part of less than a week ago. We'll get into that in a short little bit, actually, very soon.
What the heck is he talking about? Anyways, I don't know anything about this base. So first of all, you can see some of the topics we're going to talk about today. I'm going to ignore the first one. Flip Flopica, Super Zero. We're gonna speak on Monkey Moon. There was a tweet Monkey Moon had made. We're talking about some region battles, and then there's some other things we want to talk about if we even get that far. But of course, as you guys saw, if you guys have kept it locked in on Twitter, we do have some guests today. Stax and Noly are joining us for this episode. Stax, Noly, what's going on? Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Whoa, Noly, you're in like the White Castle, bro. Oh wait, it got a little better now.
No,
This man's in heaven right now, man.
It's like focusing on Noly's face.
It's bright outside and I'm quite high up, so my room's gonna be a bit more white than it normally is.
Wait, your room looks way better than Raul's. You have a way bigger window.
That's master bedroom.
They give me the master bedroom.
To the victors go the spoils.
Are you serious, bro? This man's been winning every regional. You're acting like he doesn't deserve that. Look at him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Lives like a champ, plays like a champ.
That's right.
He's winning everything.
That's right. He did.
Oh, that's not you saying. That's right.
He did win. Listen, Stax also is great.
I can't get used to Daz actually being a Gen.G homer now.
What are you talking about?
Wait, Stax, we're about to get into it.
Of NRG, DaBandwagon'd, now it's Gen.G. What a plastic oat.
Listen, first of all, I'm gonna have to stop. Let's address this right now. I'm sick of this. Let's get to this terrible category here called defraudering. DaBandwagon'd jump ship. Daz leaves NRG for Gen.G Mobile 1. This is it's a blasphemy that I'm seeing right now. Look at me in that little sub-bar topic. Even I'm looking at it like, what in the world is this?
Like, why? Yeah, you looking at yourself. Why?
Anyway, you know what? For those of you who don't know, I did join Gen.G Mobile 1 Racing, and I am casting their team streams. We have the announcement video. Let's get to it right now. The audio messed up, so we cut it. We couldn't hear it though. We just read Twitch chat. We saw Twitch chat talking about the audio was messed up, so we were like, oh, okay, on us. So no, it's more. Listen, it was some last second stuff. Don't worry about it. But yeah, you saw the announcement. It was cool. You can go check it out though on Gen.G's YouTube. It's there, and everyone's been talking about it because it's been tweeted and stuff like that. That being said, clearly after this announcement, not a lot of people were too happy about it. I think I'm still getting tweets from NRG fans to this day, including we even had some discussions here in the on the First Touch office about all of this stuff. Everyone is calling me a fraud, and they made a special video about it. So let's jump into that. You'll be able to hear this one.
Got the base.
I hope.
We cracked the case, man.
I need that too. I need energy at the major. A top 2 for energy for a lot of people. I mean, I've always had the faith. I knew the bounce back was going to happen. I'm personally, like I said, I'm having faith. I'm having faith. Obviously, you know what it is for me? It's real in the fall. Y'all always hear watch parties talking about the general. Me. Y'all can't beat them. Y'all making teams. Y'all can't beat them. You trying to beat the general. Y'all need to show results. Where's the results? Okay.
You're
might be
sad.
sad.
You're sad. You're not depressed. You're a little sad. It's going. Your team's going through a little bit of a rough patch, and now you want to hop shift. I don't know what to tell you.
I guess the video froze. Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh my God, Daz leaves NRG and everything just.
The show is just
apart,
breaking
you know?
now. The show is just breaking. Why can I hear myself?
That's what I'm saying. Oh my God.
I can hear 2 Tbates, and that's 2 Tbates
Okay,
too many.
that's fine. That's fine. Listen, I don't hear myself no more. We got to get to it. Chat, I have absolutely no idea what that video said. But I'll tell you this. That guy in that direction is a fraud. F-R-A-U-D. If y'all aren't spamming a frauder in the chat, I don't care what it is. See, Noly, we can respect Noly. Because Noly joined Gen.G, and he's been handling business.
You can't respect me and not respect them all.
Well, no. I can't stand for that. I can't stand for it. Don't do it to me. Listen, what's that say? Days without. Nobody can see that. Days without being called the bandwagoner.
2.
Well, 2.
Wait, I'm surprised you made it to 2.
We made it far. We made it. We made it a couple days. It was a
Don't
good
worry.
weekend.
We're gonna say that every single day for the rest of the year. Then for the rest of the season, you'll be called the bandwagoner because you are a fraud. F-R-A-U-D.
Listen.
That is. Now my internet broke. Everything's going wrong. Now my internet broken. Great.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, see,
That's not the internet base.
I'll let y'all go.
Yeah, no, there's precedent for this, right? When New England stopped winning, Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, and then he started winning again. So Daz was clearly tired of the lack of results, the lack of dubs. He had to get a new scenery, and look at him, he's thriving now.
Also, I'm gonna just say, straight up, he was on the Gen.G train way before we were winning too. So
Stop it. You
What?
can't say that.
There's
You
actually
can't-
There's
I just did.
evidence of that.
You cannot
There's
say that.
evidence of
He
that.
is
You want to
going
know
on
why?
stream
You want to
after
know why
stream.
there's evidence of that?
The general is carito, marito. You can't doubt him. Justin slotting top right, top
That's
left. Shut
Captain
up.
America.
You
when
are
the
a
going gets
fraud.
tough, you ride with them. I never switch. And look what he's dripped out. He has a whole jacket and a jersey
Whole
on.
jacket.
And this dude tweets out Gen.G Mobile 1. This dude's a sellout. Yeah, complete. The moment NRG isn't the best, he hops ship. He doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. We got to call it like it is. You're the biggest fraud here on the show.
All right, so first of all, now that it's my turn, you have to be getting attacked all weekend. I'm gonna say a couple of
Deservingly
things
so.
here. First things first. Noly's right. If you look at the Gen.G
my God.
announcement, when you look at the Gen.G announcement, when they first got on the team, you hear a voice in the video.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was me.
So you've been plotting this whole
It was
time.
me. It was me. Secondly, I'm not a fraud. You know
You are?
why? I never switch up. I continue to support NRG. I had them going to make the major and the regional event. You think that I'm just going to dip on the boys?
He's wearing
You
two
think that
teams?
I forgot about them? No. What happened is Gen.G hit me up and
Oh,
they gave me an offer. They gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. And they said, listen, we see what you're doing. We see what you want to do. And we want to give you some support while giving you a team that, remember, my biggest thing about NRG that I always say is I don't talk to him like that. He said, we know your boys with Noly. We know you talk to Jack. You know Chronic. You know his dad. You're about to go out to lunch and everything. You might as well join the squad anyways. And then we're going to give you the deal. We're going to support you, do all this other stuff. You saw the announcement video. They're treating me great. I got this beautiful racing jacket. I'm feeling comfortable. I'm feeling happy. I'm ready to go to work. So tell me who switched. No switching here. I just got a team that wanted me to be a part of them. So
wait, hold on. Are you saying that NRG did not want you to be a part of them?
not in the level that Gen.G did.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, you just put on a different cap. You see that's exactly what we just saw. We just witnessed what happened in real
Well,
time.
I like this
You
hat.
had the NRG cap on, said that you were supporting them, and took it off, threw it away, put on another cap, and you kept the Gen.G
I couldn't
stuff
find
on.
it. I just threw it
That-
too far,
your true
so I
colors.
threw the.
you
I got
threw them in the
next
trash. You threw
closest
them in the
hat.
trash. That's where you threw it.
Listen, you can make this fraud narrative as much as you want. All I know is the real ones know. I talked to everybody about this before I made the decision, including James Bot, who's all depressed on Twitter, sad. Oh my God, he left me. I talked to Garito Bonito himself, and even Garrett said it was a good idea. You guys can call me frauds as much as you want to. If worst case scenario, me and Gen.G could come to a deal, I'll be back on that NRG stream tomorrow. I don't want to hear all that nonsense from y'all.
Daz strikes me as the guy that will put down a bet on the Chiefs to win and then turn around and tell everybody the Eagles are going to win.
Yeah, he's the flip-flopper
like-
now. See, I always thought Bates was the professional flip-flopper. Bates was always supporting the two teams. He's the machine G2. But now it's you. Now it's actually you. And now Bates has been more consistent
I'm not
than
a
ever.
flip-flopper. You're upset because I'm winning. That's what this is. It's a whole bunch of
No,
hating nonsense.
I'm upset
if
that
it
the
was
team-
anybody else,
my
you wouldn't have
goodness.
said anything. But
No,
the
what-
fact is, I joined the winning team.
What
They
I'm
keep winning.
That's
Look
exactly
at
what
Bates.
bandwagoning is. That's exactly
now
what it
it's
is.
bandwagon.
That's why
But
you're
they
the
wanted me before
bandwagon.
they started winning.
NRG
What are you gonna say?
tanked.
They wanted me before
the
they
ship was
started
sinking,
winning.
and you jumped it. And you jumped into a team that would look.
But
Gen.G
listen,
was strolling along. Gen.G was
If
strolling
Captain
along. Look,
America himself is telling me to jump ship, I gotta listen to the captain. He's the one driving the ship. He
of course,
said,
Captain's gonna tell you to jump ship. He's the one who's dying for everybody.
right, he's trying to save
Captain's
his
gonna
crew.
tell everybody to jump ship.
It's respectable. It's respectable.
Just trying to drop the dead weight.
I hate this dude. I hate this dude so much. Listen,
All right, listen. There's nothing you can say tomorrow. You can keep on trying to defend it as much as you want. The chat is clear. Everybody in the chat, they're all spamming the fraudering. I don't know if you've been watching the poll.
You've
They're all
been
saying,
spamming the
They're all
fraudering.
saying you're the fraudering, bro. Like
You made a
everybody's
poll that
against you.
says
You're
yes,
not
yes,
real.
yes, he's the
I didn't
fraudering.
make that. I don't know who made that. Somebody else made that. Yeah, the people made that, and the people are voting. They're saying you're the
people.
frauder, and it's just simple like that. Time to move on. Let's move on to Flip Flopica. Flip Flopica, because Damar is the only person who's been flipping and flopping.
no, I'm the only person that's been winning. Everybody else has been losing, including First GM and
Oh,
FaZe
nah.
Clan. Yeah, no, wait, where you going? No, I said that for you. Where you going? Oh, now he want to go. Man, let's take a look at the bracket so y'all know what I'm talking about. Look at this. Hashtag fourth killer no more. You know why? He can't even get to fourth place. Take a look at the bracket. This was the North American Open. You can see the grand final. It's looking different. What's going on with the semifinals? I don't know what's happening there. But round one at the tippity top, you got FaZe Clan 3-1 by M80. A lot of y'all don't even know who M80 is. I know you guys are watching the stream right now trying to figure out who is M80. I'll tell you what. You still again, that's the whole purpose of it, is the fact that Lion Blaze, Percy, and Kinsey took down FaZe Clan 3-1. People were like, oh, wait, are they next up? They might be next up. They ran into complexity, mobbed them. So it was definitely, in my opinion, a little bit more of FaZe Clan. No, let's see what they're doing at the standings, though. Stax, how do you feel about FaZe Clan right now?
We don't normally see them on the right side of the standings when we put the graphics up. And okay, that's the overall leaderboard. Congratulations. But look, at least they had the strong fall split, so they're in good position there. But after watching them against M80, hey, I love those guys, but it's M80. I'm a little worried.
Really? It was one tournament? Like,
I'm a little worried after seeing how everybody else is going to be well ahead of them, 7, even 3 points ahead of them. That makes a huge difference with these. I mean, these splits they're a lot shorter than they feel like.
Yeah.
I know you don't really feel that pressure, Noly, because you're always up there at the top, dropping 20 points every event. But for everybody else, it's a struggle.
no, but you're forgetting it's FaZe Clan. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I still think that they're the most talented team in the world by far.
Oh, get the cameras back. No, I need a face on the camera. Or something like
Okay.
that. I need something. Yeah, get the camera. No, what you saying? Again.
FaZe are the most talented team in the world. I still stand by that now. They just have things that are missing from the gameplay, you know? Like, in scrims, phenomenal. They beat everyone. They look so in sync. As soon as it gets to tournaments, it falls a bit apart. But, like, I don't think they should make a change. I think they should work through it and actually try and, you know, work out some problems, and they'll be back at the top.
Or talented,
well, yeah, individually talented, definitely. I don't think my teammates would disagree with me.
But
I think the best thing FaZe has going for it is, we talked about this a lot during their match at the fall majors. The guy right up there in the middle, who's not there right now, but I mean that guy can move mountains for them, and is probably the biggest reason that they were able to come back and beat Oxygen. So as long as they have Raul, I'm not like, okay, time to abandon hope, ye who enter here, but they've got some issues to work out.
Oh, for sure. Just like every team, you know, who isn't winning, of course. But I think it's a process. It's every team goes through it. They just need to somehow figure out what's wrong and talk to each other.
Man, I don't know whether Noly's saying that because he
No, I genuinely
his room is adjacent somewhere next to Raul's, or if he genuinely believes it.
No.
Like he's your roommate, so I know you got to say good things about him, Noly. But I don't know if they're the most talented team.
No, I'm honest with him. You know, when they lost at M80, I said, you know, it was embarrassing. You know, you shouldn't be losing that, and he knows that himself. But I think because FaZe know they shouldn't lose that, they'll be back next regional stronger.
Okay. Yeah,
well, we're still talking about your team.
Yeah, I can see that.
I just had to go get I just had to show you what real support is like. Does
you had to go try to find where your team were. I tell you this, they weren't on the pitch last weekend. They were lost. They were nowhere to be found. But I'm gonna give FaZe a pass for this one. I saw a whole bunch of people dropping them out in like the top 4 in A, top 5 in A after they lose it, and maybe that's one result. They're consistent. It's consistent top 4, genuinely speaking. Noly, I can't go as far as you though as saying they're the most talented team individually. I can't do that. I gotta take into account it's not just about raw skill. It's also about the intangibles. It's about seeing the field, seeing the game, having to feel your comms and all that. Every single thing that Gen.G does great. That gets taken into account when I think about who's the best.
We're a great team. Yeah, we're a team. We're the best. I don't think. Vatina made a tweet today, and my teammate Jack responded to it. But like, we are the best team. KC isn't on our level, I'd say, as of right now. They could be for the next major, and I'd love to play them. You know, I'd win or lose, it'd be nice. But as I said before, individually talented, I think FaZe are up there with like Liquid and Oxygen. I think that's like the 3 individually talented teams that are like at the top. But they always have like some problems with mentality. So I think that's what stops them from winning consistently.
I see. Gen.G still number 1 though. But yeah, I mean they are number 1. FaZe, not number 1. Roll, you better get it together. First coach still number 2.
Individual talents, yes. On Switch.
It's about being the best player in the game. So is he the best player number 2? Okay, yeah, you're gonna stay there anyways.
What does that even mean?
Like the best players in the game and combining intangibles and all that. Is first killer still number 2 in your eyes? I don't know why I'm asking you. I can't answer that anyways. You're a biased individual. I don't think they should make a move. I think they'll be fine. I think they bounce right back. I think they're right back to get in top 4 probably. Top 4 floor next regional alongside Gen.G, G2 and the likes.
I think complexity again.
They can still make 2 top 4s and be a shoo-in for the major. I mean, they're certainly not out of contention like most of the teams you would see over on that right side with them, but
Stax, don't freak out. You gotta let it see
I'm with
second
Stax
time.
on this one.
Of course you are.
I'm with Stax on this one. You know why? Because we've been giving first killer and first GM a pass for too long. He hasn't won, and we call him 4th place, saying it's acceptable. It's not acceptable. If you and everybody else are going around, I love production. Beautiful transition into this. If you and everybody else are going around calling you the best player in the world, you have picked your team, and you get air dribble bumped by Lion Blaze, it's a problem. And especially if you want to live up to that reputation, because at this point, we're running out of excuses. And the only person to blame is the person that has literally been in charge of their roster, who is also in charge of his own self as an individual player. So at some point, you have to think, okay, normally I feel like FaZe Clan probably were going to make a move after the fall split. For some reason, it didn't happen. But you can tell there's a shift here. There's no reason. You see these goals being scored. There's no reason that these goals should be given up. As you can see, First Killer stats here in the Winter Regional. Clearly, he had the best rating out of everybody playing. He did a fantastic job. Goal participation was high and things like that. But you need a little bit more than that if you're going to compete. You can see these top teams, KC, Gen.G, they're all playing a team-based game. The individual nonsense is only going to get you so far, and you need that team chem. How you going to build team chem if everybody knows that, oh, you're not playing the way I want you to play, so you might be the next one on the chopping block? Like, can we get out of that world, please? Because it's not working. It's simply just not working. And they're going to continue to
bad event.
No, they have not had one bad event. They've had multiple bad events. You guys just say it's okay for them to make 4th place. They shouldn't be making 4th place.
What should they be doing?
Winning.
Okay, you said it about a lot of teams, though. It's hard to win.
But when you are gassing somebody up as one of the best players in the world, he should be at least making the finals.
There's a whole bunch of people that are also in that conversation,
but they make the finals.
It depends on who you're talking to, though, about this best player in the world thing. Like, maybe First Killer isn't as great as people are saying he is. Maybe that's a question that needs to be brought up to the table. Or maybe his teammates just aren't performing, or maybe he just individually plays great, and then whoever's on his team doesn't play up to par, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. At the moment, they're just stuck at 4th, stuck in the 3rd, 4th range. They're right there. They just need to finish the series off, and they had one bad Saturday. And then all of a sudden people are freaking out too much. You just gotta let them work. If they do bad again and again after that, there's too much recency bias in this scene. I don't like it.
I'm not saying it's recency bias. Like I said, I still have them making the major. My favorite series for FaZe Clan so far that I've seen this season was the Oxygen series. Me and Stax watched it. They were getting smacked left and right, and they came back and they really showed the potential of them being a great team. It's trust me, I want them to do great, because it would finally mean that, you know, all this talk, there's a little bit more merit behind it, and you can see that level of success when talking about these 3 individually. They aren't showing it, and we keep giving them a pass for it. And I think that there needs to be some level of accountability there.
I see. I think we move on next time they play, whenever it is, 2 weeks from now, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. I think they'll be somewhere in that 4th range again. Just knowing that squad. It may be them this time, but I mean, I don't see that happening again, to be honest.
Okay, well, yeah, you're right. They fell out, but another team did not do as well at all. They didn't even get out of groups. We're going to talk about this Optic Gaming squad. The question is, was this a side effect of trying to replace Magic Bear? Optic plays 16th in the Winter Open. You see Noly already shaking his head. Noly, how do you feel about it?
I mean, results speak for themselves, you know. It was obvious that, well, not obvious, but like it was public that they were making a change, and then, you know, things happened and stuff fell through. And once that happens, it's hard to feel safe and secure in a team again, because you know your teammates don't trust you completely. And honestly, I do feel bad for Magic Bear. Rettles, I've spoken to him, he's a nice guy. AJ's a top talented player, but I think those 3 as a team should never have teamed together. They need, based on their personalities, they need something different, I'd say.
What do you think they need?
Magic just needs like security in a team. He needs to know that like he's not the scapegoat constantly. I feel like Rettles needs a team that probably respects him a lot more. And I don't think AJ probably should ever been kicked from FaZe, so he deserves one of the top 4 teams as well, for sure.
Oh, well, okay. So that's some interesting points. What does anybody else have to say about Optic?
Well, the big problem is we heard Rettles and AJ both spend the entire fall split telling us, any detractors, that no, Magic Bear's the truth. Magic Bear's the guy. He's the guy. Trust us. He's better than you think. And then what happens when it's trade window time? All right, Magic Bear, sorry, son, you're out.
Yep.
Like, okay, well, so much for that. So then, how much can you trust their thoughts on anybody they had at that point. It comes down to that trust thing again. You know, are they being genuine, or are they just going, well, this is the guy who was available, so we're gonna back him?
Yeah, you ain't never lied about that. This OG team, man, they're struggling. But I mean, I can't say going into the season I expected too much for them. I didn't know where they'd be. I thought if they make the major, they'd be on the precipice. They'd be on the cusp, be like a fifth place, maybe a fourth. And other than that, they'd be sitting around the 7th, 8th range anyway, 7th to 10th range. Even when they tried to make the calm move for Magic, I didn't really see that being a move that would make them a guaranteed major team. I think being a major team in NA is just so tough right now in general. So many great teams. Last year, they'd be a major team, no question. But this year is a little bit different, especially with all the transfers, all the teams moving over to come play in the best region for Rocket League. And I do think there's a side effect. You can't just kick the youngest player or try to kick the youngest player and then expect to immediately bounce back and be able to perform. He's got to have that confidence. He's got to have that back, and he's got to have that support. And if that's not necessarily there, it might mess with the on-field play to a certain degree. It might just mess with the cohesion, the chemistry, and when the going gets rough, you're already thinking about, man, if only we could have made that move. Like that's just like a natural human inclination that pops into one's head. It's just like nagging at you the back, like, maybe we had calm, or maybe I wasn't on the team anymore. So it's gonna be tough for OG, man. It's gonna be real tough for them to consistently perform. Cause then they beat SSG. They beat SSG, I think. But then after that, I mean, it's just inconsistency. And it's going to be hard for them to really capture that and become the team that they want to be, especially in this very tough to make major position.
When we talk about rosters who have young guns who actually excel, we're looking at the other two players. One normally an extreme leader, or well, both the players are typically players that can bring that young guy a confidence and guidance that allows him to flourish in whatever way the team wants him to flourish in. You look at Gen.G Chronic. The Chronic was someone who was a risk for other teams, but Gen.G was like, yo, we got the pieces. We'll plug him in, give him the confidence. Look at the kid now. He's fantastic. You got Evoh on Dig now. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but Evoh on his previous team we were like, yo, he might be a bust. Guts on this team, he's flourishing. He looks incredible. Who else? Beast Mode on Shopify. He faked retirement. He faked retirement. Came back on V1, got on the team that allowed him to flourish and gave him that confidence. Beast Mode's one of the best players in the game. And I think for Magic Bear, Reddles did that with Daniel on SSG, if you want to recall that. Reddles boosted Daniel to give him that confidence. Now Daniel's one of the best in the game. But when you talk about AJ and Reddles on the same team, in particular for me, AJ, I think, is somebody who has to be at the forefront. And for Magic Bear, he also has to be like the helm of the team. You have to give him that confidence. So it had to be a certain way for them to allow Magic Bear to do whatever he wants in a way, but you have to like mesh it, and obviously it's not working. And then once Magic Bear gets rumored that he's going to get kicked, he's not going to get a second chance or a chance to prove himself, it always just like ruins the aspect of the team, and you cannot rebuild that.
That's facts.
Yep.
Does Optic do any better?
No. They get maybe a top 8, but like I don't think they'll be making major at all this season.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
I can't imagine this team being 16th all 3 events and just not beating anybody. I mean, we're not talking Rogue here. I mean, they can beat people, but yeah, they're not
beat people.
And I mean, that's just
they're
like
not. I think top 8 is probably their ceiling, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's just the individual talents from each individual. Like they're that good that they can beat players, but they can beat certain teams, but they won't pass a certain threshold. Like their floor is there, but their ceiling could be high, right? But it's just not. They're not gonna break it.
Yeah. On top of that, they got Asphere as the official mascot, so it's chalk.
Oh,
yeah, it's over. It's over.
It's wraps.
Good luck.
Yeah. So toodaloo Optic, but hopefully they do bounce back. Hopefully they can find a solution to where every player on that team is happy and then can like move on and kind of grow into that own aspect, whether it's on Optic or otherwise. We'll have to keep eyes on Optic. But another team that is doing it's just we go from bad to worse to what is happening here. Aqua and Gyro. Is it time for Aqua and Gyro to part ways? The duo is 0-12 in the 22-23 season. 0-12 is rough.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at Noly.
Noly, bro.
Think about who they
Noly
should have
just
beaten
nodded his
too.
head.
Like, oh.
0-12 is rough. And like I don't even know where to start with that. But for them, it just hasn't worked. And it's really interesting to kind of see the Koi kind of dynamic, because I think there's still like some copium there. I think Gyro made a tweet saying that everybody in the group made top 4, so it's still doable. But Gyro, I mean, I don't know. It's just rough. They haven't won the series yet, and people talk about Aqua being a young prodigy role, or like it at least comes up in those conversations. And to see Aqua Gyro not do successfully is definitely very concerning.
Nah, like I said, he has to. I think Aqua has to go into, he has to have a team that's willing to uplift him. And on Rogue, I normally saw, specifically last season, I haven't really watched them too much. They haven't really made it too far. But last season, I saw them, and it was like Gyro. Like Gyro was the most consistent player on the team. But it's also those two players, those grown players, the leadership, the qualities, the intangibles that we always talk about. He needs two players that will bring the best out of him. And right now, I think Aqua is not put in the best position to succeed. And whether that's him not grinding as well, I don't know what Aqua does outside of the game as well. But he's just not in the best spot. I think a change of environment may help him. Definitely, it will help both. It will help the entire team. Honestly, I think it's just chalk. Like.
No, you play against Koi. I mean, does it feel like they're out of sync on the field?
We kept it close against them, but it was like it didn't feel difficult, like if I was playing close qualifiers in Europe. I don't know. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to say players just aren't good, or like they don't know how to play Rocket League. Like, I mean, obviously they're good players, otherwise they wouldn't be making main events each time. Right. But like they don't know how to play Rocket League. It's like that's as simple as a way to put it. Yeah, just chalk her up.
Oh my god!
Okay. Release the whole team. Let them all go their own ways, and I think that'll be better for every party. Especially for Koi, because like you don't want to be coming into Rocket League and just having a team that's going 0-12 like each time. Well.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't won a game. Like, you don't want that type of team.
Yeah, no, it's got to be rough on them. Stax, how do you feel about it?
I'm just waiting for that one moment when they finally do win a series, and it's like the scene from The Little Giants where the dad stands up like, they gained a yard! I feel so bad for this team, man. They have a lot of promise. I especially feel bad for Gyro because he's been sticking it out there for so long with Rogue and now with Koi. Sometimes a change of scenery is exactly what's best. I mean, it worked wonders for Gimmick kind of in the short term when he was out of version 1, went over to, I think it was Oxygen at the time, and performed very well with LJ and Toasty for a while. And it worked out really for everybody. Of course, it worked out great for V1. They got beast mode out of the deal. But, sometimes you do have to, as Noly said, just chalk it up. And, for a player like Aqua, the jury's still out, right? If he gets an opportunity with another team and still doesn't have the level of success that everybody thought that he was going to have, then maybe you start to go, okay, maybe we did overrate this guy. For everybody else on the roster, it's like, okay, are you past your shelf life, or is it time to move on? It's hard to know that sort of thing because you get a very small sample size, especially when you're just going 3 and out every event.
Yeah. Shout out D-Reg. D-Reg says the craziest thing is second event with Aqua, they got top 6 last season. And then their game record this season is 12-36. They've lost 3 game 5s. So
25%.
Yeah. So it's just it hasn't been fun over there on the Koi side of things. Hopefully they can figure it out. But some team, sometimes you do need to make a change, and sometimes when you make a change, it can be a little bit questionable. For this guy, he's proven that one team's change definitely should have been questionable. We got to talk about Mr. Super Zero Super Lucky in OCE. Let's go to Oceania here for a bit. Super Lucky reigns supreme in OCE. Ground Zero go 21-1 in games throughout the Winter Open. If you didn't know, the roster of KCP.
I thought it was 31-1.
31-1?
31-1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was 31-1.
Oh, okay. I'm just reading the text. That is 31-1 is much more impressive than 21-1.
21-1? Is it really?
Oh, is it really 21-1? Did D-Rex say it?
No, it's 13-1. No.
Oh, it's 30
31
if it's including qualifiers.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. I'm including everything, man. They went 30-1.
Okay. Shout out D-Rex
Qualifiers.
for clarifying that.
What is this, Little League Baseball? We're starting to count everything? Come on.
Little League Baseball. So this event has obviously been very successful. Let's take a look at the reaction, because I believe we have a reaction of, first of all, Ground Zero winning, and then Super Lucky's celebration as it happened. This audio playing, you guys will probably be able to hear it. If you have seen this clip, yeah, there it is. There it is.
That probably felt good to
is,
beat the X team.
What is the back of my head doing on the graphic for Super Lucky Reign Supreme and OCE?
Oh, shit.
What is this? I like the guys. I've always been a big Ground Zero fan. I'm just a huge fan of that org, and to see them back on top is great. But that caught me off guard.
Okay. So we got provided by shiftrle.gg. Okay, I said, okay. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, I ain't noticed this. I noticed it now, though. Look at the stats. This is some cool graphics, though. These are nice.
Mm-hmm. Big shout out to JSK1 for making these as well. And then, of course, the rating is you get the ratings on shiftrle.gg. I have to explain. If you don't know what the rating is, the players, the pros, and everybody else, they really rely on these ratings a lot. But basically, it's a calculation that determines a player's performance in the series. They take 7 major stats: score, goals, assists, save, shots, shooting percentage, and goal participation of a player. And they're compared to the average of all participants in the game, series, or event. From there, each of the 7 metrics compared to the average of each player. And then there's a bunch of data that's done over a series or an event. But that's like kind of like the basic example if you guys ever wonder what a rating is. But a lot of people, you might hear pros mention a rating. It's either Octane, Shift rating. They're kind of doing a little thing right now. I don't really know what's going on with that. But we thought of incorporating it and giving some credit to those guys because they let us use it. So big shouts.
And while we're shouting out Jaski, he designed this jersey too. So he is the GOAT.
He's designing everything.
He works a lot. Anyways, speaking of Super Lachi and OCE, that was a pretty incredible. I don't know how many people actually watch OCE, but they were dominating. They were going against They were going up against Pioneers. KCP had just replaced Super Lachi with Hunter, and they were just whooping them around, slapping them around. And even in Game 4, they almost went perfect this whole entire time. They went down 3-0 in Game 4 and came back and forced that overtime. By then, I think Banana had scored. No, Scrub scored. Scrub scored OT, so I kept that, made that go to Game 5. And then raw emotion. I don't know why Super Lachi got replaced. I'm not too certain on that. I don't know my OCE lore. But it was just so incredible to see how much passion, how much desire a man wanted to win. It's kind of like Noly, you've had to like switch teams and stuff, so you know how that feels when you just gotta go against that other team, that former team. You know, like it's a personal, and it's hard to get to that point. In Rocket League, I feel like people are way too friendly, and everybody acts like they need to be buddies when they don't really need to be. It's about competition, so I really don't need to be your friend. So like he just wanted to win. He might respect them, but he really wanted to win. The emotion was there, and hey, now I got even more reason to watch OCE. So you don't watch OCE, you need to go, because that's gonna be a story the whole entire time. They have 3 legit teams that could all make the major in KCP, in Ground Zero, and in Power. And I think OCE Rock Clay, man, they're on the come up.
Yeah, and I
that's
don't want to hear
something-
anything about time zones or anything like that. OCE is on during prime gamer hours, so let's go.
I think that's something that we we hope for like in this scene is a lot more rivalries and people actually like anticipating that. There's so many roster moves and roster mania is such a prevalent thing in Rocket League, but the teams that always make the move were like, yo, he's going up against his former team, but there's no hype behind it other than the fans just speculating that like he's going up against his older team, so it means something more. I need the pros to start trash talking, like please.
Well, I mean,
please
you knew
make
what was
things
coming.
A lot more exciting.
It would have came in Rotterdam, and KC could have made it to that grand final against Gen.G. No, how trust me, that young man in the heaven room down there. I mean, he would have been talking. He would have been
last
chirping. That's all
weekend.
I know. That young man would have been chirping. He would have been looking at the KC crowd, going like, like I already know. It would have been pure content. I would have been there for it too. So it's just more stuff like that, like FaZe, like be honest, like Raul, like you might remember Noly, but y'all shouldn't be friends come game day, man. It should be pure.
We wouldn't be friends game day. No chance.
Look, Noly and I understand. We understand it.
Well, listen. I know Noly ain't, but Raul, you gotta get your players to understand that too. And I think if more people did that, and that's why I love the OCE boys, because OCE boys, they talk that talk. They talk that talk. They like the Power Boys. I remember it was in London or something like that. They wanted somebody to lose really bad. Oh yeah, so Renegades, so Renegades want to make Worlds or something like that, or KCP want to win Worlds.
KCP versus BDS, and then KCP won, but Power wasn't happy about it. So
yeah, they were not pleased. They were actually angry, and it was just like, yeah, I love that, man. I want to see more of that. It's too much being friendly. Even going on Twitter, because the two best teams in the world right now. Even going on Twitter, Vatira's been tweeting. Vatira's been tweeting. We're gonna get into that, and that's what I like to see. But we're getting that a little bit later.
Yeah,
that's my thoughts on the Super Lucky.
We gotta talk about that. Well, okay. I feel like we're all like in the same boat in terms of like Super Lucky, OCE, even like the kind of chirping in between and things like that. It was really good to see. Really kind of proud of Super Lucky and being able to find a new home and then also doing well in that. So OCE is getting a little hot. We'll keep it locked in on them. See how they do. Speaking of tweets, though, we need to talk about. We need to kind of shift gears here and talk about something that's very important, which is mental health awareness in the Rocket League scene. Obviously, a lot of people saw Monkey Moon's tweets about mental health, his mental health, his personal struggles, and just the overall status of the tweet. The team, I'm sorry, as we can just show the initial tweet. There's a tweet longer that Monkey Moon ended up tweeting out. That being said, we won't really get to. We'll get into some details about it, but the biggest point is Monkey Moon being open with about his situation in the last 3 months, and of course talking about the future. Noly, Stax, have you guys had a chance to read this?
Yeah, I mean, I love Monkey Moon. He's like still one of my friends, and I have a lot of love for him. It's not that it's sad to see, but you know, I'm glad that he's open to talk about it because that's like the first step for improvement. So.
Yeah, people forget that these are not just machines. That I mean, look, the way they play is otherworldly at times, but there's a human back there, and you know, stuff off the field can absolutely affect you, and does for a lot of these guys. And so, you know, when you see somebody have, you know, a bad series or a bad event, it's not just that they're falling off. There's certainly a lot involved there, and Monkey Moon has the level of talent that if his head is right, that team is going to thrive. But, yeah, it is unfortunate that sometimes, you know, real life kind of delivers a few haymakers, and you got to deal with that. You got to find a way to deal with that. And we've seen orgs be a lot more supportive of their players. I think there's still probably a long way to go for some of them more than others. But hopefully, you know, the leadership at those organizations with these teams does make this a significant priority because, I mean, I hate to put it this way, but, I mean, it is money at the end of the day. The more your team wins, the more money you get as an org, so you should be putting them in the best position to be successful, no matter what that cost is.
I hear you on that. And see, like, just for people that chat, people at home, people on the Twitch stream who don't understand. See, like mental health is important. It's like imagining you tune into a stream and like you're waiting for your drops and you're at 90%. and like you just need to have your drop then and there, and it's not coming, and then your whole entire day is ruined. That's your mental health. That's why you need to tune in as early as possible into the Rocket League stream to get your drops, because then your mind will be at ease. You'll hit that 100%, and then you'll be good to go. That's what mental health is. It's all about being very important. And I'm proud. And now I'm going to transfer with the Monkey. I'm happy that Monkey got that statement out there. I'm happy that he went. I'm happy that he talked about his process and how and where he started at and where he's at now. Because that just means another thing too. It's gonna be another case of Bates never wrong. And let me tell you why. Because now Monkey Moon's focused. He's focused now. He knows he's about to get back on the grind. He knows. KC fans, you better be scared, because that's one of the best players in the world. And when he's on, Vatira, I don't know if you got enough to stop him. Seiko, you better be up to par and extra. I already know what he can do. But that BDS squad, they're coming. They're coming and they're hungry now. They got a reigning world champion. He's locked in for the next 6 or 7 months, and he's about to go on a mission. That's all I gotta say. That's what I got from that. That's what I got from that message. Noly, you better be scared. He's trying to defend the belt. I know y'all trying to take it from him, but he's back.
Don't
he's
be
ready
scared.
to go.
Don't be scared. You good.
You lost me for a second there, to be honest. Yeah, went on a few tangents, but it's Monkey Moon, man. If I lose to a world champion, it is what it is. You know, I'll take it as long as we still get a good result. I do want to win worlds, but he's one of the goats. You know, you've got to respect him. So
yeah. And basically what I'm saying is, for those y'all are a little bit confused, since I apparently confuse some people. When your mental health is wealth, and when you got that underneath control, you got all the assets, all the resources that you need. You got your friends, you got your family supporting group, and you got people also that basically anybody in your life that's there to help you get through what you're trying to get through. When you come out of that, you end up being a better version of yourself, because you've learned from that experience. You've grown as a human being, and you know that you can be even better than you were before it happened. And that's what I'm saying. Monkey Moon's gonna be right back. We've already won a world championship, so that's all I gotta say, man. That's all I gotta say. It's dangerous now. It's dangerous now for everybody in Rocket League. It's dangerous.
He'll be back.
I agree. I think I talk a lot about mentality and the mental aspect of this game, especially on my stream. But this game is 100%. Like, players have the skill. All pro players have the skill, and there's a lot of people who talk about like retirement and stuff like that. And I know this is not what this is about, but a lot of people retire because their mental starts to decline. Like, it's completely mentality and how you feel. How you feel is how you're gonna play. Ultimately, that is what it is. So if Monkey Moon, he's getting right back on it, he's gonna be dangerous coming up this split. Because if he feel good, we already know how Monkey Moon can play. So I'm with Baze.
Yep. I'm with them as well. I will say Baze was right on this one. Looking at just seeing the kind of growth, and honestly the skyrocket that Monkey Moon's career is taking with BDS and how well they've done, like that can propel you, and things can just move so fast. Next thing you know, you're on top of the world, and then you fall right off, and then you're dealing with everything else, like in the game, out the game. That can take a toll on you as a person, but it seems like Monkey Moon has recognized this, which, like Noly said, that's very important, and be able to acknowledge things and then also go and make those improvements. I'm very happy that Monkey Moon decides, one, to share this with us, and two, that things are progressing in that way. So, yeah, I want to see it back on top. Let's maybe not number one. Maybe not number one. Maybe
that's what I thought, because
like number two.
Yeah,
maybe number three. Like somewhere up there.
Okay.
Well, it's actually something that's tough to overcome too, like being on top like that, because then you want to just kind of take some time off after that long grind. I mean, I think Dig and Cloud9, and to some extent, I guess NRG, are like the only teams to win a world championship and then not fall off. It happened all the time in the early days of the RLCS.
Well, there's such a big break then, though. That's why. I mean, Cloud9 won a world championship in November 8th, 2018, and then after that, they played in the E-League tournament in December, and then RLCS didn't happen again until March.
Yeah, March, April-ish, yeah.
So,
and the turnaround here, I mean, I kind of talked about it a little bit at the start of the season, but the break between Worlds and the start of the next split was almost non-existent. So even if you wanted to take a break, you couldn't. So it's just that constant grind. And frankly, I think it's something that needs to be looked at. I think there needs to be a lot more time between World Championship and start of the next season, just to give players that time to kind of de-stress.
Yeah, you gotta live your life.
Yep.
You gotta live your life. That's really the basis of it. All these people, they play so hard, they get the glory, they get the prize and the org and stuff, and they can't even enjoy it. They just because it's just lock back in. So I agree. Hopefully we well, I don't know in terms of changing the league structure and everything like that. That's a conversation for another day. But I do think that Stax does make a good point. That being said, Stax, I'm kicking you off the show. You gotta go.
That's fine. I gotta go anyways.
No, but I know. I'm just saying.
I got about 5 esports matches to try and coordinate later today. So
yeah, Stax is
a busy day.
Thank you for joining us. Stax came in and told us, he wanted to be on the show. He couldn't be on for the entire thing, only the first hour. So it's coming up to that time. So of course, Stax, thank you so much for being able to join us and give your opinions on these segments and topics. Before we, let you go, you're on the other side of this conversation now. Any final thoughts? Any shout outs you want to make?
Shout out to you guys for letting me come on the show. Thanks, Bates, for taking it easy on me for the better part of an hour here. And Noly, good luck with the rest of the show, dude. You're gonna need it.
I'll survive. I've got it in me.
Why he say it like that? He had to say it like that. Stax, toodaloo. We'll see you later.
Stax.
Oh,
all right.
Gosh, now I'm next to the heaven room.
Yeah, it's actually kind of like a good contrast there.
Oh, wait. Like his room got less bright. Oh, no. When you move closer to the window, your room gets less bright. Wow.
Yeah, he covered the window.
It covers the windows up like right there. No, like turn sideways again.
Yeah,
there it is. Yeah, there it is. But then you're dark.
Mm-hmm.
but then you're dark, so it doesn't work out.
I'm gonna start this.
Okay, all right.
All right, this is where we get to the business now. We got a couple good topics.
Yeah, we got some topics. You guys you see the next one, but there's a little bit more coming in. It's kind of spicy, so keep it tuned in. So first things first, let's talk about South America. Has Sam figured NA out? Furia and Complexity both made top 8, and Complexity made that grand finals appearance where the BJG grooves, but they lost to him in the grand finals. Noly, you shake your head. No, what's going on?
No, they haven't figured NA out. NA's just in the mud right now. A bunch of teams wants to make changes. Everyone's having internal issues. So it's like, you see teams like Dig and Call, yeah, they're good, but like, they're only making those because other teams are sort of like having those internal issues. I don't think that's going to be the same for Regional 2. I think we will see a normal NA top 5 as usual. But like, some players have never really performed too well in NA. Like, we know this. It's a normal thing. So yeah, I mean that's all I've got to say about that.
Well, I mean, Raul, your team is one of those teams that he's talking about. Do you feel like he's on to something there? Will we see kind of a usual top 5 coming back in?
I think a lot of teams, I agree with Noly, a lot of teams are having internal issues and going through things right now. There's 3 specific teams that we can, that were, before coming into the split, everybody was thinking was going to make a roster move. And there's a couple other teams that are still struggling, not making a roster move. I'm talking about like, the team that you jumped ship. But but going into this next split, honestly, I don't know if I agree with Noly if we're going to see the same top 5. I think teams are still going to struggle for a minute, and Complexity, Furia, and these other teams are going to take advantage of it.
I feel that. I think for me, it depends on, it's a case by case basis. Some teams, like we said, Optic, that's chalk. V1, there is a potential there. We've seen them do well against kind of like lower end teams, but then you could see where that rise rumor started to take effect towards the end of the day, the G2 match, and then after the G2 match, the Dignitas match, which was relatively close, I will say. It was all 1-goal games, but V1 should be winning at least a game in a series against Dig. No disrespect to Dignitas at all, just V1. You come off of being a top major team, and then you expect to at least make it to quarters in your first event back. But those are things that they got to get through. We already talked about FaZe getting back on top, so yeah. I can see that. I think also if the bracket went a little, if Complexity was in a different part of the bracket, I don't know if they make grand finals. I do think, having that M80 and then having M80 in the dig, and they already knew they could beat dig. They had a lot of confidence going into that. So that's where I'm at. But how you feel, Bates?
I'm trying to figure out what you what position did you just take? So Noly said no, and then I don't know what position you or Raul took.
I said no.
Oh, you said no. Okay, because you started off your
Wait,
soliloquy.
Noly said that teams would bounce back this next.
Yeah, no, the question was, has Sam figured NA out?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, question disappeared. But the point is, has Sam figured it out? And Noly said no. DeMar apparently said no at some point. And within that statement. And then you said yeah?
I said no.
Okay, good. Yeah, because it's very clear it's no. And that's not even up for debate, man. Furia, Complexity, they're really good teams. When you say somebody figured it out, it's like if they're just gonna start winning. Like I don't believe that. I still think they're gonna be on the edge of making the major. I still think for the major from NA, Gen.G, G2, and FaZe are locks. I
agree.
That. So then it comes to the next two, and let's be honest, that next two has a big pool. NRG, they showed me something this past weekend. I don't know if they keep that up. They showed you something. Furious gonna be in there. Complacency's gonna be in there. Dig with Evoh, SSG. And I don't necessarily know about M80, but and that type of roster there. And I'm not big on V1 this split. I think that's going to be very hard for them to truly bounce back. I think they completely chalked that with trying to get rid of the face of their organization or the face of their Rocket League scene in COM. So those teams in particular, I think you got about 4 or 5 teams that can really make it. And when you say they figured NA out, I don't believe they have. I think it's going to consistently be tougher and tougher. I think that it's not going to be easy. And I do believe that at the end of the day, they're going to be fighting in the winter close, whatever that is called. What is that last thing called? Let me go look real fast. A winter invitational. They're going to be fighting to make the major in that 4th, 5th spot. So I would say no. And NA is still the best in our own region. Did the question change or something?
Yeah, the question did change. I guess the first one was gone, so then they said, let's just throw up the other one. We have something that's a G2 stat for this particular segment. It says shots for. Oh, I remember this. The amount of shots that G2 has taken. I believe. Yep. Let's get that up on the screen. This is a direct tweet. Gen.G has, for the second time this season, held this trio on G2 to their lowest total shots in a best of 7 series. Now, the whole point of this topic is the fact that Gen.G, 2 players are from Europe and 1 player is from North America. So the question is, are the NA players the best players in their own region?
I don't know, because we obviously came over and we've not forced Chronic, but we've developed Chronic into sort of an EU play style. We play in between EU and NA, so it's hard to exactly say what we are. Yes, we play in NA. We are technically an NA team, and me and Jack are from Europe, of course. But I don't know where to put us. I separate us from the rest of North America, except maybe G2, just because they've always sort of played like an EU team.
Mm-hmm.
So if that question's obviously to try and say, Gen.G, the European, but better than the rest of NA, I don't think so. I still think NA is the best in their own region. I don't see how it'd be any different.
Of course, we're still the best in our own region.
How do you feel about G2 having a EU playstyle base?
I don't know what Noly's saying right now.
Really?
I'm confused by that.
Okay.
What do you mean by that?
G2's not just a solo play after solo play after solo play. It's let's break teams down and then let's score.
You think EU teams play like that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, EU teams are scrappy to get wins, whereas NA like to take the time. They like the space. They like to go for solo plays and be a little bit more flashy. Whereas G2, if you look at them, they do not care about being flashy. They just care about getting a goal in. And if that means that they're going to take your boost, they're going to demo, they're going to pass to each other, then that's what they're going to do.
Yep.
So I've always considered G2, even though they're an NA team, they play an EU play style.
Okay. That's interesting take. I have to think about that one. I have to think about that one indeed, but the question, I mean, speaks for itself. There's still NA representative on the team that always wins. So, of course, NA is going to be the best in the region, and I'm always going to be leading. Also, Jack and Noly, they hopped over to NA, and Noly can say all he wants about how he's from EU, and he's got an EU playstyle, but the NA playstyle it's definitely permeated their style. They scrim against NA teams all the time. They know how NA teams work.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that they've assimilated to
No.
NA culture.
No, you're
like-
wrong,
like-
bro.
No, we haven't.
No.
You're wrong.
You
they
still
play the EU way, and that's why they win over here. Just like EU has won most of the majors because of the way that they play. They play like a team. They work together. What Noly was saying is that majority of NA teams, NA players have the best individual talent, but they play like individuals. It's a 1v1v1v3. Like, it's just one at a time versus 3 players who play like a team. And G2 is the only North American team other than Gen.G that actually use each other. That for a consistent time is exactly why you loved watching them previously, Tbates, because they would pass the ball.
I just don't see teamwork as an EU play style. I just don't see that. Because there's so many EU teams that don't do that. Like, even the best. BDS.
No.
When BDS were the best, were they using teamwork or were they just using monkey move?
Are you using monkey move?
Oh my God! What are you talking about?
Noly.
That's ridiculous.
What?
Nah, see, you've been corrupted.
Passing plays?
You've been corrupted, Bates. You've been corrupted. You've been corrupted.
Wait, Noly, answer this question. Was BDS a passing team?
I want to talk to you, Bates, right now.
Oh, snap.
Oh, no.
I ain't never.
Oh, man.
You gotta stop doing this to the guests, man. First it's Jack, now it's Noly.
No, I gotta understand, man. We don't even have to talk about BDS. We can talk about the other teams in EU. So let me go through EU, man. Carmine Court. Carmine Court. Let's take KC for example. Carmine Court is not like they don't play like y'all, Noly, and they don't play like G2 either. Carmine Court is
I don't know about that one.
They do not pass like Gen.G and G2. That ball does not. Wait, you said they pass?
They definitely pass, but team plays
they do not pass like y'all.
Well, you know, that's
team
crazy.
plays are not only about passing.
Who told me? Who? Oh, sorry. I was gonna say.
No. That's okay.
Who told me that Vatira said that KC was copying Gen.G's playstyle? Because somebody said that, and if I could get the tweet, base your toast. That's all I'm saying.
Just because somebody says it doesn't mean it's true. Like what?
If Vatira says that himself, if Vatira says that himself, that they play like Gen.G.
But they don't though, because you can look at the tape. Gen.G's got Noly, one of the best maestros in the game. Noly dropping it down. They got Crying out there passing it right back to Abjack to deliver shots. Like the way KC plays, it's Vatira going up high. No. EU forces out a touch. EU forces out a touch and they bump, and that's how they always win. That's how they win. EU plays a physical game.
Bro, what are you saying?
You think EU plays a more pretty game than NA?
I think
no, they don't.
No, they don't play a pretty game, bro.
That's why they win.
Because they play physical, but physical and scrappy. But that doesn't mean they use proper.
They do use teamwork.
Being physical.
Bro.
No. Let me speak for a sec, okay?
Go ahead.
Being physical and scrappy is teamwork. You get a demo, you open up so much space for your team.
No, okay.
That's teamwork. Like
no, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, they utilize their teammates and they utilize team, like in the essence of the word, they're using teamwork. But I'm talking about like in terms of passing, in terms of keeping the ball moving, in terms of flowing. NA has always done that better than EU. EU is a smarter region. Y'all use y'all's brains over there. That's the main difference. So y'all know that all y'all gotta do is take one out the play, go bump or something, and make it easier for my teammates to come follow up. That's how Europeans win. Y'all have taken the European style, and then you've added a little bit of NA sauce to it. Y'all pass the most out of anybody. Y'all pass more than G2. There's never been a team in history, maybe outside of Cloud9, that has passed more than G2. And as an NA style, I don't remember seeing any other EU teams do that. Any other EU teams really do that, bro. The only EU team that I can really recollect that has genuinely had a passing style was the old Gale Force Dignitas back in the day. Like, what? Am I the only person that sees this?
You're in your own world, mate.
I don't know, man. Y'all need to go watch the tape, bro. Y'all
What's
need to
the
go
tape?
watch the tape, bro.
I played in Europe. I played in North America. What do you mean?
He's played both regions, and y'all need to go watch the tape. Bro is experiencing
He's
first.
in the
He's
tape.
on the field.
He's in the tape.
Yeah, but
He's
you could be
in
in
the
you could
tape
be
you
in
are
the tape.
watching.
You be in the tape, but then you might be missing out because you might feel like a team's doing it. I just don't see EU teams use like proper like what I value is like team plays, like passing the ball around doing it. I don't see that, man. I don't see it. I see very
I
physical,
definitely
scrappy
see it.
Rocket League. And like that's a European style that wins games, and that's what NA needs to get in our heads because all we do is try to twirl and whirl and try to become the most flashy players in the game, and it doesn't work. But like even Moist, for example, when Moist was dominated, it's because Joya would take it up to the sky, Bati, you couldn't score on them, and Rise would be able to sling. It's not like they were going back and forth, hitting each other on passes. Like they like that,
Yeah,
like
they
that
were.
wasn't the case.
I'm pretty sure they were making passing plays.
If it was
They-
like a
they-
super, go ahead.
They wasn't overdoing the passing plays, but like they did it to an extent where you could still say they made the plays. Like,
Okay.
It's like they're in sync. Okay, so what I'm gonna say is EU players are always they play for each other. Like they are there for each other. They will take a 50, they will go up in the air, take a 50, and there will be someone immediately ready. North America, they go for their little air dribbles, and then they'll take a 50, and there will be no one there. There will be no one there. You're waiting for someone to bypass two people and just wait. You're like sitting back and waiting, and then you're like, all right, well, it's my turn now. So I'll go up and do another air dribble, flip reset, and then again, no one there. It's just like one at a time. You're trying to attack, and you're waiting for one guy to beat one or two guys to progress up the field. EU is like, yo, let me take a 50 in the air. Someone else is zooming up. Like Monkey Moon is rocket up in the air, and then extra following right after that. Like they're right on top of each other. That's
Yep.
teamwork, bro. That is teamwork. That is the teamwork we're talking about.
Yep.
I'm talking about passing plays, man. I'm talking about moving the ball around.
Please.
I'm talking about moving the ball around, moving the ball around, flowing.
It is flowing because more players are touching the ball.
I think EU players just follow up the ball better, man. I've always said that, bro. In
Which is
terms
a
of
team play?
in terms of moving the ball around, if Gen.G didn't pass, y'all wouldn't win.
You know what? Next
I don't
regional,
believe
I'm not
pa-
passing to either of my teammates, and we'll still win.
Hmm?
I won't pass to either of my teammates next regional.
Stop capping!
Just to
Stop
prove you wrong.
capping! You can't say it with a straight face. You know darn well you can't just say
No,
that.
man.
Oh my gosh! You know you gotta pass. Stop capping to me.
What you
Look at
mean?
that. You can't say that with a straight face, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. We got different definitions of teamwork, bro. We got different definitions of teamwork.
Because
Clearly.
teamwork isn't. Yeah, teamwork
Is
isn't
teamwork
only
only
passes.
passing to you?
Teamwork is the ability to like utilize your teammates. What y'all describing is just following up.
No, which is utilizing your teammates. What do you mean?
I mean, I
Like,
guess
a
I think
play
it's just
that
using your
includes-
brain.
Which is teamwork. If a play includes more than 2 or 3 players on that roster in that play, that is teamwork. That's a team play, right? So if you hit the ball and get a 50 and your teammate's following up quickly, that's a team play.
Especially if you
That's
play a 50
teamwork.
to him.
Yeah. You know what? The Gen.G comms when we win the regional, coming out soon.
Coming out soon.
Yeah,
Coming out
you'll
soon.
see the essence of teamwork in that video. We communicate perfectly to each other, not just on passes, but like where we hit the 50, where we do a fake. You know, that's all team play. That's how we win. So you'll be enlightened. Don't worry.
I need a video of Tbates listening to this comms video.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
FT exclusive. Tbates reacts.
To see
I
if,
guess.
if it really hits the Bates teamwork test.
I don't know, man. I see it different, bro. Listen, all I gotta do is give some NA people a little bit of advice. They start winning. They start winning quick. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, all right,
wait,
bro,
all I gotta
okay,
say.
all right. Stop the cap.
I'll
Why's
be going to you
Cappy?
for advice.
Like, let's stop the cap. All right, since we on this topic of Gen.G, KC team play, let's get to the next topic here. Top dogs. The question is, which team will fall first? Gen.G and KC both make 4 straight regional finals, going 2-2. Another interesting stat here that isn't on that you don't see on the screen. I asked Direct about this morning. In terms of the last about year or so, from like RLCX until now, has the 5 regional streak, or not the 5 grand final streak from Gen.G been one of a kind? He said no, it's tied with the Team Queso Moist roster.
Oh,
Right now.
oh.
So yeah, at this point, like even Noly and Gen.G and Vatira are tied in that overall record for like at least those 2 rosters from now on RLCSX with the most consecutive grand final appearances. But let's take a look at the head-to-head regional stats as we open up this topic. You can see it on the screen right there. Oh my goodness, the goals
Oh my
per game are
God, goals
exactly
per
the
game.
same.
What?
God.
That's kind of crazy, actually.
Look at
You
this.
get more
No, but it's
dates.
Coming
almost
off the
identical.
Right, coming off
It
that
is?
playstyle conversation though. No, this is looking really
identical.
similar.
It's very similar, actually. I didn't realize it was this close.
But KC has less than in multiple
everything,
categories, so that means
except-
that they'll lose first, right?
No, because like we've got to keep up that many to keep winning, whereas they like from those stats they're probably a bit more efficient with what they do, whereas we just like do everything and it works. Which team falls first? I don't want to say us, but like we have a lot more pressure on us. But do we? Because like KC fans as well, so I don't know. It's
To be
tough.
fair,
This graphic has a. It needs to change the demos per game. Here's one.
What?
is demos per
There's a
game
typo.
off?
There's a typo. It's demos per Agme.
Oh,
Oh,
Agme.
yeah, that's the
Oh,
game.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
okay, I see what you're saying. I was like, is it off?
Analyzing everything. Agni.
Pressure. I think pressure right now is on KC because they play next. They play this weekend, so of course they
Oh
have
yeah,
to.
they do.
You know, they have to make the finals this weekend. Otherwise,
No, they don't have to make the finals.
Huh? What do you mean?
What is this weird pressure y'all be talking about?
Wait, why do they not have to make the finals?
It's about winning. It's about winning the major. The pressure's on KC to win the next major.
No, you got to focus on the event that's up next.
What?
it literally
No,
says
you
it in the
forget
bottom
think of
text.
it.
They make
If
4
you
straight
think-
regional finals.
Yeah, like
I
if
mean-
you think too far ahead, like you're gonna get caught up and it's gonna like mess you over. So you got to focus on what's currently happening, and the next
As
regional
a,
for
as a
them
player.
is
As
Yeah,
a player, but
player.
I'm talking about I'm not talking about the player though. I'm talking about which team will fall first. So it comes down like if say for example, same thing with FaZe we just talked about earlier. If Gen.G say y'all get like top 8 rather than winning or making a
Yep.
grand final. I'm not saying y'all fell off because y'all didn't get the grand final. And same thing for KC as a regional. Those are regionals. Now come the major, that's when the pressure's on, especially when Vatira's tweeting out laughy faces because Jack's saying he thinks y'all can do the whole thing, and Vatira's saying don't forget about me. Major time, y'all have won the major, so now the pressure's on KC to see if they can win the major as well to prove that they're the best team in the world in their eyes. Like the regionals are regionals. I think people too much stock in the regionals. I'm talking about from like the non-player perspective.
Oh, I was just reading the text. You see me, I just read the text. But that being said, no, in terms of that conversation, I agree. Obviously, a lot of people wanted KC in the finals, but they lost to a Moist team that doesn't have Rise anymore. So that's like a real big kind of thing there. They had the fan base, the crowd, their fans at the arena. This next event, they're gonna go to NA. And then, they got to travel out here. Gen.G, they're already out here and things like that. So but that being said, it didn't stop them when Vatira was on Queso from making that finals there. So it's definitely possible. But of course, I'm going to say Gen.G. Hello.
You're gonna say they're gonna fall off first?
No, I'm saying KC's going to fall off first. I'm saying.
I think it's a tough question. I think Europe's an easier region. I
No.
think Gen.G's in the harder region. Why are you shaking your head? You are in the better region.
But-
Oh my
No,
God. It's
but-
still European. That's the
'cause-
problem. There's
'cause
no way you're saying EU's harder.
I've played in Europe and I struggle to make I struggle to make finals. Like EU has so much more like talent overall. It's like to win, you just got to be a better team on the day, Whereas NA, like that's not the case. You just got to know how to play Rocket League and you win. Like it's so much more
Dang.
simpler to win in NA than EU. And I don't want this to backfire on me because of karma and whatever. But like, that's just like how it is. Like for me personally, like I don't think I think my team would agree. If me, Jack, and Chronic moved over to EU, we wouldn't be as dominant. I think.
Man, I can see Johnny Boy smiling so
Yep.
hard right now. He's
No,
like,
man.
yes,
No,
yes, major champions. Then mid,
The
EU's
major
better.
champions say
Yes.
Noly. Noly, you got to put this in perspective, man. Y'all just won the Rotterdam Major from
Yeah, we did.
NA. The team who is always in the finals didn't even make it to top 4. They're always in the grand final. They weren't even in the top 4. Who did they lose to in Rotterdam? Somebody remind me. Who did Armenia lose to? Did they lose to
lost. No, they lost to Moist, who have Rise, Jojo, and Astral. Very good LAN players.
No excuses. Now you're making excuses for people.
No. It's not excuses.
My gosh.
Not excuses. I do think we're the best team in the world. I think that on LAN we'll still be the best team in the world, because when you get to a LAN, everything's different. You disregard where you're from, your region. You just play as equals. Everybody there can equally win, except obviously maybe like some of the minor region teams. But I think, I don't know. I think you're giving too much disrespect to EU.
Disrespect? I'm giving the facts. I'm giving the facts of the matter. And in RLCS 21-22, Noly, there were 3 teams. There were 3 teams that you count endpoint in the first split in the fall last year. And other than that, there was 2 teams that won everything. It was BDS and it was Moist. Those were the 2 teams that won everything. You can't tell me your region is hard when there's 2 teams that win everything. And now this year, in EU, there's the same team. They're winning everything. It never changes in EU. It never does.
They're the best team. NA's inconsistent.
No, NA's no. EU's inconsistent because nobody's there to consistently challenge whoever is the best team. Gen.G's on the roll right now, but you gotta take into account that Furious got it better. G2 is gonna figure it out. FaZe is gonna figure it out. NOG looks like they got a little bit of promise. Those are teams that can push Gen.G. Complexity got Gen.G's number.
Where?
EU has the same thing. There's teams in EU that can push KC.
Hold on. Let me not take this. Complexity have our number, not in playoffs.
Not in playoffs.
Where it matters.
You beat them. You beat them. But still, they still got 3-1 record against you. So like y'all beat them with the pressure zone. But they got a record against you.
I've lost to Pittsburgh Knights. I've lost to NRG. Like in Swiss and groups like that, Swiss and groups, it doesn't matter too much. Playoffs is where it counts, and that's where we step up. That's where we win. So like whenever people try and take into account like, Gen.G lost to this team and in this, are they falling off? No, it's not playoffs. It's not playoffs, yeah. So don't disrespect Gen.G like that ever again.
Oh, you're Tbates. Stop talking. You want to talk about Gen.G Mobile 1 Racing? Not a chance.
Shut up, yeah, you don't know. No. This is an A and B conversation between 2 alphas and people who hop ship as an alpha. You can stay up there. All I'm saying is that, Noly, you're disrespecting North America. I understand you're winning right now, but now you got the whole entire land on your back, Noly. I'm just going to let you know. There are teams going to listen to this, and they're going to be ready to come for you, man. That's all I got to say. I think that's just crazy. EU has not shown anything. EU has shown absolutely nothing in the past year outside of BDS and Moist being absolutely sensational to say that they are the harder region, especially when you have so many of the best teams, the best players in the world moving from EU to NA, only making NA that much more deep.
What the heck? Why is Jack saying I'm with you, Bates? Jack, stop.
I have no idea.
I hear you, Jack. Jack, you're using the common sense. Noly, he's too confident. But he's confident for a reason, though. I mean, I'll be confident too by marking out with 30,000 every single time I hop into a tournament. So
apparently, PR back at it again. Right. See, look, you got Noly on this extreme spectrum, and Jack just has to bring it back to the middle.
Well, like, not really, because last week we had Jack on the show, and Jack was doing the same thing to me. He was in doubt. He was flabbergasted. Whenever I get the Gen.G boy on, it's pure content. That's why they come on.
This is ridiculous.
But regardless, what I was saying, back to the original question is, I do believe NA's harder. Noly disagrees. But I'm just talking about pure depth. EU might have some really exceptional teams. Like you got the KC, you got the Oxygen. So maybe that's why Noly's saying he wouldn't be confident. But outside of that, it's a little hit or miss.
What about Vitality? They just made the final.
Vitality could. I want to see it again, but Vitality for real once Zen gets there. I think that's going to be a conversation once Zen gets there.
Okay.
But so I think that might be why there's a little cause for pause. But I think NA's just a little bit deeper, and I think there's a chance that Gen.G doesn't just win every single time. I can see KC just consistently being the top of that region, especially until BDS Vitality really come back. So that's what I'm saying. Well, but when I say Gen.G falls off, though, I'm saying they're not going to win every time. It's going to be like a second, third. I don't think either team's going to fall off the whole entire year. I think they're going to be consistent one, consistent two in the regions respectively, if not the world.
I understand it. I understand it. I think there's teams that fight for those spots though in either region, and we'll see that as the season continues because then you got more and more like BDS potentially coming back. Did Liquid figure it out? Did Oxygen make the right move? And Vitality 54 Zen Edition, it's a lot happening there. So yeah, okay, all right. That being said, though, we got to move on. We got like last 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes in this show, so we may not get to everything. That's okay. But what we will get to is EU depth. Speaking of which, how different will the final look this weekend? Historically fails to have any consistency since RLCSX. I know who wrote that.
Outside of the winner.
Outside of the winner?
Yeah.
Outside of the winner.
Typically speaking.
For me, I'll go first. I think the final, there's definitely a chance for the final to look different. Obviously, Vitality's going to try to replicate their performance. Obviously, you're going to see BDS. They completely destroy people in quals. They look to be back. I wouldn't count BDS out this weekend. You want to see more from Oxygen, so there's that. I think those three, and Liquid's my dark horse, but those three, they'll be challenging the KC boys this time around. I still think KC would make a top 4 though. Let's start Noly.
I mean, I think KC again, because like as long as KC keep doing good, we're gonna do good. I don't know. I don't have much faith in Oxygen anymore, just because like I kind of know that team. Like I know how like mentality works in the game and how the meta's shifting. So I honestly don't know. Like it EU's too inconsistent, but there is too many teams that can pop off in the day. So I can't really put another team into the final except KC.
I'm gonna just say one thing. Actually, one place, France. That's it. That's how the final's gonna look.
A France final.
A France final.
Always. That's a France region.
It's a French region.
Well,
he said that's a France region. Noly was a part of the French thing for a little bit, even though he wasn't French.
I was, but wasn't there more English players at Worlds than there was French? So I'd consider it. I mean, I guess me and Jack have left the 2 best English players, but
You talking about Rotterdam or at Worlds?
Worlds? Or was it? I don't know. What one of the lands had more English players? I know that for like the first time in a while.
I think it might have been Rotterdam.
It might have been
Rotterdam.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's just inconsistent. I said I got a KC in the final. If you had if you're putting a bet down, you gotta go KC in the final. Don't know if they're gonna win or not. Probably it's very likely that they win. But then after that, I mean, you got Oxygen. You got I don't know how to look at German Amigos. I got to see it again. You're going to have BDS potentially. You're going to have Vitality maybe. I don't think Vitality makes the grand final again, though. I think they played absolutely sensational. I think that's really hard for them to replicate. And other than that, it's just going to be interesting to see. Like, I don't know how to view Liquid. I don't know how to view Quadrant. I think the Cannon does exceptional things, but it's just like, and this goes back to the EU. When I look at EU, it's hard for me to tell who's going to be like, who's going to be there that day. Because the teams just all lack in terms of being like they're either very all similar in skill level or it just depends on the day for them. Unlike NA where I'm pretty confident knowing X team's gonna get an X spot. So
really, what about last regional?
Yeah, are you confident anymore, bro?
What do you mean?
What about FaZe? V1, Space Station? None of them made top 4.
Okay, well V1 I didn't expect much of anything out of them this split. They tried to get rid of Calm. So take them off the table. I already clarified on that. FaZe not getting top 4. That's a hit or miss. You have like a 90% guarantee that FaZe is gonna get top 4. The 10% didn't happen this time. And who's over? Who's over? We said
Space Station.
Space Station. I expect Space Station to get top 8.
I expect them to get top 4.
Top 8. Top 4.
I expect them to
get top 5 team, right? Are they not a top 5 team anymore?
Not right now. I don't think. I think they can make it back. They just need to communicate.
I was talking to Bates because he said this is a consistent region. So
Wait, what do you mean? They're a top 5 team in the region?
Yeah.
In an
you
eight?
said-
Yeah.
So why are you saying top 8s? They should
Because
be
I
top
would say,
4.
well, top 4. I mean, they're top 4 team in the region. If they're always getting top 4, it's just so.
But they didn't make it, so they have to make one to make a major. Like they have to.
Yeah, I would say they're gonna make a top 4 at least one time each split.
Okay.
I would expect them to be top 8 every single time. EU, I don't know what to expect at anybody.
Yeah.
I expect.
Go ahead.
I'm done.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough though for that Europe side. You know, I know you talking about the cannon. Listen, for the cannon, it's just like EXO gotta, chill out, wave, gotta keep the ocean calm so the cannon can hit the mark. I think that's really what it is there for Quadrant. They haven't found it yet, but maybe they will find it in this next event. We'll have to see. You're talking about top 8 placements in North America consistency as well. The question is going to be about if this particular team can be consistent as we get to what I think is going to be probably our last topic of the day here. Dignitas, is this a new top team in NA? We got a direct tweet talking about stats on Dignitas saying that, again, Dignitas top 8 in this event, it gives Andy just his 3rd top 8 finish in an RLCS event. Andy has qualified for 21 of 22 North American regionals, and in 11 of those, he and his team fell short at 9th. 1 top 8 in his first 16 regionals, and 2 in his last 6. Slowly but surely, the stocks are rising up as Dignitas perform really well. Like we said, they get that first top 4 finish. Around the room, is this a new top team in North America?
No,
Considering top.
with potential.
What are we considering top?
A top team? No.
Like on a level of like Gen.G, FaZe, G2.
Yeah, no.
No.
That's a top team.
No.
No, not that level. But on a level of like Furia,
Whoa.
Space Station.
They're like on a 5
On
through,
that
5
level?
through 8.
I don't know about that, man. I gotta see
straight.
it again.
5 through 8.
There's potential for sure. I mean, I think Nick, he's being discredited quite a lot, but with that team, he seems to know what works with them. Andy, I have a lot of faith. I see myself in Andy quite a lot. Drees, everyone knows Drees is a top player. He was on G2, he knows what to do. And Evo's a mechanical beast. He just needs to be nurtured into something a bit more. And I think, I think there's a ton of potential in that team.
Yeah, 2 things I want to hit on is 1, the Nick thing. They called a timeout in one of the series when they were winning. They put it.
Oh no, that wasn't Nick. Don't worry.
Oh.
No, yeah, that's what people think, but Andy's like hand started to hurt, so that's why they took the time out.
Okay, never mind then. Dang,
Yeah.
the whole thing about that. Oh well.
He had an injury timeout.
Right. The second thing is Evoh. This is gonna be our next question. Was Evoh slept on too much? I want to go to roll
Look at
this.
Evoh.
This one. Look at Evoh. This is that picture was taken from when he was in Turf Wars. But Evoh definitely showing out for Dignitas. He gets on this team, new addition, and my goodness, does he go in and make a statement? This was against PlayStation Gaming to tie up the series again too. I mean, Raul, how do you feel about Evoh? Woo, that's a good goal.
Look, man, I'm gonna come here and put him on blast. He's had a couple prodigies. He's had a couple young guns. Let's talk about beast mode. Let's talk about Evoh now. I don't know what it is, but the starting point for both of these young guns included one specific player. Actually, I'm not even gonna name no names. It's not important. Evoh.
What are you saying? Say name. Nah, man. Nah, you ain't getting
Say
out of
names?
that, bro.
Nah.
What weak old statement you saying, man? You gonna come on this show and say you ain't gonna say names, man? Who you talking about, bro?
Say names.
Like what? Why you ducking from the smoke, man? Like man,
Ducking from the smoke.
Yeah, just seem like you ducking. You want to say something, but then you only want to call who you talking about.
Bro,
Who
there's
you
a
talking
specific
about?
player. We know who the player is.
No, say who you
Go
talking
on,
about.
say-
I
say-
specific player.
Raul,
If he don't say it, I'll say it.
Okay.
Nah, but just mute him for the rest of the show,
Go
bro.
on, come on, say
It's
it.
only a
My
minute
goodness,
left.
bro. Rapid.
There you go.
Rapid had these 2 young guns, specific players. They were supposed to be dogs. And we ain't talking about Rapid no more. He's been taking a lot of L's. He
Yep.
has been. This kid leaves that team. Look at him now. Top 4. Also, beast mode up there. Everybody who's left
Yeah.
this kid is now flourishing.
Not just that, he said Gen.G and KC weren't going to do anything.
Well, a lot of people said that.
Not as vocally as Rapid though. He was a #1 certified hater for sure. So
Think so?
yeah,
But it
definitely.
was,
I thought when Redo
Bro,
said y'all
I-
were barely gonna make top 16, I thought that was #1 certified. I thought that was number
man, how the tables turned on that one. Oh boy, but yeah, the question is, was Evoh slept on too much? You know, we're starting to see him, transition in this. I want to get some thoughts on that. How do y'all feel about it?
I don't think he was slept on.
Yeah, I don't
People
think he
know he
slept
was
on at all.
mechanically good. He was just immature. You know, he needed the people to respect and to mold him into a better player. I think he's
Okay.
following in the right path.
Okay, I can see that. Obviously, Raul's already made his statement. Evoh finally, it feels like he's free. That's what it feels like over there. He can get into that good team environment. I think that's kind of where everybody is now. You know, he's in a position where he could grow. Drees, Nick, Andy, all players that want to see the top have all done super solid with him and helping facilitate a good environment for Evoh, and you're starting to see the benefits of that. So I think the sky basically could be the limit there for Dignitas. We'll see how far they can go next time around, but definitely is worth noting that everybody involved on that team has been improving. So of course, big shout outs to Dignitas on that. That being said though, guys, we got to stop here. We've hit the time mark. I'm getting the pings. It's time to close out the show. There's nothing on the bottom text, but you know what it always is. Thank you for watching, of course. It's been an honor, Noly. Again, thank you for joining us on the show. Any shout outs, anything you'd like to say before we close off?
No, just thank you for having me. I always love being on here. So
Much love, much love, much love. Thank you so much. Tbates, it's been fun as always. I just want to say real quick, I'm not a fraud. As we get ready to end this show, it's been a good episode here on First Touch. Please make sure to keep it locked in at First Touch RL on Twitter. And of course, the First Touch YouTube, as well as all of our socials, which you'll see on the screen below after that. On behalf of all of the staff, on behalf of Psionics, of support, and of course, you guys at home, thank you guys so much for tuning in to First Touch. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next week. 1, 2, toodaloo. Take care.
Fraud.